Hello everybody, this is Brett Barkos once again, and welcome to the second video. Today we're going to be showing you guitar and drums for the second song on this album. Hey everyone, this is song number 2. The working title is Chunker, and I'm going to be recording guitar for it now. I don't have anything in the session yet other than the 3 guitar tracks, which is just the center rhythm track, the left rhythm track, and the right rhythm track. No drums have been programmed yet. The only thing that's in there is the 3 guitar tracks, the click track, and a master fader. So yeah, why don't we get to work here. Already off to a bad start there. Not a very good take. Gonna have to do another one. So actually, just to preface a little bit, the riff I'm about to record right now, I kind of already had an idea for in my head, and I did a little bit of a rough recording of it on my phone. So that riff has already kind of been written. I am gonna change it up a little bit though from the original version. With the rest of the song, haven't written it yet, so you're going to be witnessing me writing this song as I'm recording it while watching the video. So that's pretty cool. I'd say that was a good take. I just came up with this riff, so I'm going to lay it down now. Basically, it's going to be the verse riff. So I kind of had a simple idea for a chorus riff, and I'm going to lay that down right now. I just want to let you guys know, as I'm writing and recording the song, within the Pro Tools session itself, I'm actually labeling where each riff starts. For example, the chorus riff, as soon as that comes up, I'm putting a marker there that says chorus. It makes it a hell of a lot easier later on down the line, especially when I'm programming drums. And let's say I program the chorus drum beat, and then the chorus appears once again in the song or a couple more times in the song. Instead of reprogramming the drums for that chorus, you can actually just create a group with all the drum tracks, copy and paste the chorus basically, so it's exactly the same as it was in the last chorus. One thing that I actually like to do a lot when I'm programming drums is, even if I copy paste the drums from chorus to chorus, I will go into each separate chorus and I'll tweak a couple things here and there, like on the drum tracks, so that they're not exactly the same, so that a listener, when listening to the chorus, they're like, okay, chorus comes up again in the song, and oh, that's a little bit different, and it's just kind of interesting. I like to do that sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes I'll just do a straight up copy paste if that's what the song, sounds better with. But oftentimes I do like to go in and tweak a little bit just to make it a little different. I kind of have an idea here for a riff that would be played underneath a guitar solo. So it's actually more of like a Pantera kind of groovy riff than an actual thrash metal riff. But this is my project, and I can do what I want. Also, I don't think anyone's going to complain if a little bit of a laid-back groovy riff is in a thrash song, especially if the solo's monstrous. You'll see. Anyway, here's the riff. So here is the outro riff of the song, and I'm basically just gonna play one little piece of the main riff and just kind of end it with some pick slides and some random stuff like that. Well, that's it for guitar for the song, so I'm gonna go ahead and start programming some drums. Alright, so this is currently what the Pro Tools session looks like. As you can see here, once again, it's just the 3 guitar tracks. I'm not actually using a center guitar track in this song at all, so I will be getting rid of this track. I just had that one basically to record on, to drag and drop into the rhythm L and R. That's kind of how I record guitar. I usually start off with about 3 guitar tracks. 2 of them will be left and right, and one of them will just be labeled use, and I use that one to record onto, which I keep in the center panned, and then I drag and drop. Each time I get a good enough take, I drag it into the corresponding guitar tracks here. And as you can see here, there's quite a bit of splits where I've the song clocks in at about 3 minutes and 25 seconds as of now. I haven't programmed any drums yet. I'm actually going to get started on that right now. This is a pretty standard MIDI drum setup for me, where I have 2 mono instrument tracks and ticks and 2 stereo instrument tracks and ticks. Basically, the 2 mono tracks are going to serve as the kick and the snare drum, and the 2 stereo tracks are going to serve as the hi-hat and the crash. If I was to put toms in the song, I would add more mono tracks for toms, depending on how many I'm using. I usually use between 1 and 3 toms. Any more than that, I don't really use, to be completely honest. This song, I don't have any toms planned on being used, but if I come up to a part where I think it could use a tom fill or something, I'll add 2 more toms or something. I'll add some toms. And once again, that's kind of how I have everything labeled: kick, snare, hi-hat, crash, in that order. I put them all in a group, as you can see right there to the left, the bottom left drums. I have them all in one group. I have the group disabled at the moment because I like to be able to adjust the volumes individually before I start adjusting them as an entire group. Yeah, I have everything at minus 10.7 dB just to ensure that I'm not clipping later on. I have them at the very beginning of the session, and then the guitars come right after, and then I've got the click and the master fader. As soon as I add bass, it's going to be between the drums and the guitar. That's kind of how I like to have everything labeled out and laid out. I like to have drums first, then bass, then guitar, and then vocals in that order. And you can see my color coding is just red for drums and blue for guitar. Anyway, that's probably boring. Just showing you guys kind of what I do though. And at the very top here, we got expand 2 on all 4 of the drum tracks. That's kind of what expand looks like. Obviously, that right here where it says beneath the waves, it's not going to say that anymore. It's going to say like kick selector. And then for the snare drum, when I click on that one, it'll say snare selector, that kind of thing. But that's basically how I program drums. I find sounds, and then I lay Slate over top of that to obviously have better samples, as opposed to the shitty Pro Tools stock samples. And then I just kind of drag and drop. It's a little bit tedious, but I'm pretty quick at it, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. I programmed a basic drum beat here for the main riff. I don't have any Steven Slate samples over top of this yet, so basically I'm going to show you a little bit of a snippet of this, and you're only going to hear what it sounds like without the samples, and then after this I'll show you what it sounds like with the samples. Okay, so I've laid samples over top of the drums, and this is what it sounds like with the samples over top of them. Pretty big difference. I just kind of wanted to quickly show you guys the transition from the chorus into the solo riff, so this is what it sounds like. So last night when I was kind of discussing this project on the last video, I kind of had a little bit of an unrealistic expectation of myself. I basically thought that I was going to make 30 videos for this. I've actually halved the number of videos I'm going to be doing for this project down to 15. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier for me to produce them and have them like good quality if I'm not making way too many videos. Between actually recording the songs and writing them and making the videos, it's going to be a little bit of a weird kind of toss-up going on. So I've ultimately decided to make videos showing the first 5 songs from the album. There's going to be 10 songs on the album. Originally, I was going to have videos for all 10 songs for all the instruments that are going to be on the songs, but I just kind of figured that was a little bit too much work, especially trying to juggle that with my other work. It's just too much. So basically, you'll be seeing the ins and the outs of the first 5 songs, and the second 5 songs you will be able to listen to as soon as the album is out. So the song's basically done on drums and guitar, and well, I mean, that's it for this video. So thank you guys again for watching, and hope you guys are excited for the 3rd episode, which will be coming out on the 27th. 25th, as said before, is my off day because I'm working all day that day. So yeah, I'll be releasing another video on the 26th. So I'll see you then.